This audio story has been taken from one of my books called Facets of Romance. The name of the story is Melody of Tears. It's about love, breakup, emotions, and romance. Hope you like it.
It was a sultry summer morning, and a long queue was waiting at the bus stand. Ratan took out his guitar and sat down in a corner of the shade of the bus stand. He was lean, with untidy hair and short, unshaven beard. He was oblivious of his surroundings and immersed himself into his music. He started playing a soulful tune. There was a placard in front of him which said, "My mother is sick, please help." He was a street performer. He was evicted by the traffic police several times, but he came back again and again till they gave up and started ignoring him. As his fingers touched the string, the magic of melody cast a spell on the small audience. It was a welcome respite to the tired passengers who were waiting for hours for their bus. A few kind souls threw coins on the guitar bag placed in front of him. He played the entire afternoon in the sweltering heat and went home with a paltry 150 rupees. He did not have lunch. Ratan said,
I already had lunch, mother. I brought some rice and lentils for you.
He placed the food on the plate and fed his mother. In another part of the city, there was a small gathering of college mates. Manushi and her friends, who were selected for a multinational company in the campus recruitment, were planning for a grand lunch at a posh Park Street restaurant. Vishal was overexcited and said he would sponsor the lunch. He was the son of a big shot in the construction business and had big dreams of working abroad. On the other hand, Manushi also belonged to a rich business family. Her father was a business tycoon in the diamond business. "I'll pay half the bill. Otherwise, I'm not going."
All right, senorita, your wish is my command.
The rest of the gang were mostly from middle-class families, and they were glad that they would not have to part with their pocket money. They cheered for themselves and congratulated each other. Manushi had been dating Vishal for a while now. They were neighbors, and both the families were well aware of their relationship, and they were happy about it. There was a bright prospect of two businesses merging together as a group of companies and becoming one of the richest families in Kolkata. As they sat across the table, Vishal kicked Manushi and winked at her. "What?" Vishal produced an exquisite watch from his pocket and said,
Rolex, only for you.
Manushi smiled and accepted the gift. "Thanks, it's very beautiful. But don't waste any more of your father's money on me."
It's difficult to impress you.
"That depends on how you're trying to impress me."
I'll give you a Porsche when I settle abroad.
"Why don't you look after your father's business here?"
My brother will do that. I want to see the world. We'll travel the world together.
"Only time will tell, Vishal." Soon, premium whiskey was served, and the gang gulped down as much as they could.
What I mean is, I really love you, Manushi.
"Why? What's so special in me?"
You are beautiful and lovely and
And rich?
No, I didn't mean that. I feel that you were made only for me.
You are drunk.
I am, but I'm telling you the truth.
The conversation was soon drowned by loud, groovy music. The gang roared in applause. They could hardly hear each other. They shouted and said whatever came to their minds. Words became unimportant. They were having a nice time. Manashi somehow managed to push Vishal inside the taxi as they headed home. Vishal was mumbling something which Manashi could not understand. She had a difficult time trying to keep him awake. To add to her trouble, the taxi broke down in the middle of the road near a bus stand.
What the hell?
Said Vishal. Manashi talked to the driver and asked him to arrange for another taxi. Till then, they were stuck near the S9 bus stand. It was late and very few people were around. Manashi felt extremely uncomfortable and scared. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, she could hear the melody of guitar coming from under the shade of the bus stand. A clumsy, lonesome figure was playing guitar. He was totally immersed in his music. Manashi was in a trance for a moment. She came back to her senses when Vishal started vomiting. She felt helpless. She tried to wipe his face with her handkerchief.
Take this.
Manashi looked up and saw the guitarist. His handsome face has become rugged and untidy due to malnourishment and excessive exertion. Thanks. Manashi took the bottle of water and poured it on Vishal's head.
I think your taxi has come,
said the guitarist as he helped Vishal stand on his feet. Thanks again. As the taxi started moving, Manashi peered out of the window and shouted, "What is your name?"
Ratan.
The next day, Manashi called Vishal. How are you feeling now?
Better. Sorry for the trouble. Sometimes it happens.
Can you take me to S9 stand tomorrow evening?
Where?
The bus stand where our taxi broke down last night.
Sure, why?
I need to repay somebody. Manashi handed a 500 rupee note to Ratan and thanked him for his help last night. Ratan was shy and reluctant, but accepted the money. He was in dire need of money and could not afford unnecessary formalities. Vishal looked at Manashi quizzically. He was about to say something when the guitar came to life with a melodious, melancholy tune.
Let's go.
Have some decency. Wait till the performance is over. The melody enthralled the small crowd that gathered around him. When the performance was over, Manashi clapped her hands in appreciation.
Let's go now.
Manashi looked at Ratan and said, "That was amazing. Bye." Ratan bowed slightly in acknowledgement. When they boarded the taxi, Vishal was furious.
Why did you pay him so much money?
He deserved it. Besides, do you have any idea how much you paid yesterday to get drunk?
No one can win a battle of words against you. But understand this, there is a value for everything. We paid what the whiskey was worth.
I paid what he was worth.
Come on.
End of discussion. Anyway, are we going to the movie theater tomorrow?
Well, of course, dear. I have booked the corner couple seat.
Manashi pulled his cheeks and smiled. They held hands and sat close to each other as the taxi sped towards Salt Lake. Next evening, Vishal was waiting outside Manashi's house with his bike. Manashi rushed outside with a big smile and climbed on the rear seat. They soon hit the bypass road at top speed. Manashi put her arms around Vishal's waist and rested her face on his shoulders. The cool breeze soothed her senses, and soon they were at the gate of the multiplex. They took the elevator to the top floor and reached the movie theater just in time. Vishal got a large bucket of popcorn and a large Coke, and soon they made themselves comfortable in the cozy corner. They were least interested in the movie. As soon as the lights were out, they came closer to each other and kissed. They were in each other's arms, caressing each other fondly. They had hushed conversations that nobody could hear in the loud theater. After the movie was over, they reached the parking lot. As Vishal started his bike, he said,
That was amazing.
"Best days of my life," laughed Manashi as she climbed on the rear seat. More rendezvous followed, and the couple became more intimate. Soon, they joined office and became busy with their work. However, the college buddies would always meet on Saturdays, and Manashi would pass the S9 bus stand on her way home. She would often stop by and listen to Ratan. One day, she asked Ratan, "What happened to your mother?"
She's suffering from a kidney problem. I don't have money for a transplant. In fact, I don't have enough money to feed my family.
Ratan hung his head in despair. "Who is there in your family apart from your mother?"
I have a younger brother studying in school.
"I see." She reached for her purse. "Keep this." She handed a 500 rupee note to Ratan.
Do you think I deserve this?
"You deserve more." Manashi smiled and left. The cell phone kept ringing while Vishal was busy taking a bath after a tiring day at work. He finally picked up the phone after 10 missed calls. "What's wrong with you?
I was in the shower.
Are you sure you're not forgetting something?"
What?
"Forget about it." The phone went dead. Vishal suddenly remembered it was the day he proposed her. He immediately called back.
I'm sorry. Look, I was kind of tied up with this very important project. They said if I perform well, they might send me abroad.
"No excuses, Vishal. It's a very important date in my life."
That's enough. It is not possible for me to remember each and every date we met.
"Go to hell."
Manashi disconnected the phone and banged the wall with her hand. It was evening already, but she didn't care. She called a taxi and went to the S9 bus stand. The romantic melody of the guitar eased her pain. All her worries seemed to fade away. She sat beside Ratan for half an hour till he finished playing. Ratan said, "You look worried."
"I am."
By the way, what is your name?
"Manashi."
So, what happened? A breakup?
"Not quite. We had a fight.
Over what?
He forgot the day we met."
Look, it's all part of love. You are angry because you love him.
What would you suggest?
Go and give him a hug. Life is short. Don't waste time and let go of your ego. There are people less fortunate than you. Even they try to live with a smile on their face. Manushi stared at the guitarist. He was mature and she could make out he had been through so much more in life than she had. She felt guilty for being narrow-minded. Then she smiled and said,
Thank you. Can I play that tune?
Which one?
I don't know the name. The symphony you were playing last Saturday?
Melody of Tears. It's Beethoven, my favorite. Ratan started playing the mournful tune. The heart-wrenching melody moved Manushi's soul. Manushi didn't realize how close they were sitting as Ratan played the melody with all his heart. It was dark and the stand was almost empty. Manushi rested her head on Ratan's shoulder for a moment. Ratan could feel the warmth of her face healing his battered soul. She suddenly stood up as soon as she realized how close they were.
That was amazing. I should get going now.
Bye.
Bye. And thanks for your advice.
Manushi waved her hands and walked towards the taxi stand. When she reached home, her mother asked why she was late. She was very angry.
I was with my friend. Please, Mom, I'm famished.
Dinner was served. Manushi's father asked when she was planning to get married to Vishal. Manushi blushed. She rarely spoke to her father.
I don't know.
Her father showered praises for Vishal's family and made it very clear that he wanted them to get married as soon as possible. Manushi kept silent. She finished her food quickly and left the table. She called Vishal.
Look, I'm sorry. I overreacted.
It's all right, dear.
Can we meet tomorrow?
When?
After office? At the cafe?
Done. The cafe was empty. Manushi quickly gave a tight hug to Vishal. What are you doing? We're in office.
So what?
My seniors will be here any moment. Manushi stepped back and walked towards the window.
We did not celebrate our special day, Vishal.
I have something for you. Vishal reached for his pocket and took out a blue velvet box. Open it. It's for you. Manushi looked at the diamond pendant and gave it back with a sharp look.
Look, I'm not interested in your father's money. Bye.
Later in the evening, Vishal called Manushi. Please don't disconnect the phone. I need to talk to you.
What is it?
She was expecting an apology. It's great news, dear. I'm traveling abroad next month. I've been selected for the multi-million-dollar project. I'm going to Chicago.
What? What about us?
You can leave your job and come with me. We can get settled in Chicago.
Are you out of your mind?
Come on. We both know we will get married soon. Our families are already preparing for the wedding. We must be practical.
Practical? What about my career?
You are being emotional. Think about it with a clear mind and call me back.
I will.
Manushi disconnected the phone and slumped on the sofa. She felt miserable. There was only one place where she could go. Manushi called a cab and told the driver.
To the S9 bus stand.
There he was sitting alone in his world of misery. There was a bus strike. There was no audience and he did not earn much that evening.
Hi.
Ratan looked up and managed a meek smile.
Play me Melody of Tears.
Why is it so appealing to you?
I don't know. The way you play it soothes my heart.
Ratan blushed. As he played the beautiful melody, Manushi had tears in her eyes. Ratan said, "What is worrying you today?"
He's going abroad. He wants me to leave my job, get married, and settle abroad with him. I don't think I'm prepared to do it.
Never compromise your self-respect. Manushi took a long look at Ratan.
You are right.
They sat silently for several minutes. Ratan said, "He's confused right now. Give him time."
He's not confused. He's materialistic.
Money is also very important. I mean, look at me. I have nothing.
As you said, self-respect is even more important. By the way, can I see your mother?
You really mean it?
Yes, I do.
My home is not far from here. It's walking distance. Let's take a walk.
Sure.
Manushi reached a shabby house which was in serious need of repairing. Water was seeping from the damp ceiling. In a corner of a small room lay an old lady who looked sick and famished. Manushi felt sorry for her. Ratan's brother pulled a chair for Manushi.
No thanks. Do you have tea?
Ratan's brother nodded and stepped towards the kitchen. Manushi objected and said,
I'll make tea for everybody.
She disappeared into the kitchen. Ratan's mother smiled. Manushi came back with 4 cups of tea neatly arranged on a plate. They all had tea together and talked about trivial things in life. She felt a strange connection with the family. She felt at peace with herself. She was happy. Ratan said, "Thanks. It's really been a long time since we had a visitor."
Thank you, Ratan, for everything.
After 3 months, Vishal came back from Chicago for a 1-month vacation. Manushi's parents were extremely excited. They called up Vishal's parents and made elaborate plans for the engagement. The 2 business tycoons even discussed about a big fat destination wedding. Manushi had great expectations as she stood in front of Vishal's house. She rang the doorbell. Vishal opened the door and saw Manushi after 3 months. "Come in."
How's your work?
"Great, I met some very nice people there."
Are you happy?
"Yes, I had never been happier."
So, now what?
"What?"
About us?
"Don't pretend as if you don't know. I love you, you love me, we had a sweet affair and now we will tie the knot."
What if I say I'm not ready to go to Chicago? Will you come back to India for me?
Manushi looked into his eyes. "What sort of a question is this? Look, I have just started my career. We have a great life waiting for us. What is the problem?"
You did not answer my question, Vishal.
Vishal paused for a moment and said, "No, I cannot come back. I want to take you with me. We have our engagement day after tomorrow, dear."
All right, bye.
"What happened?"
I guess everything is sorted out. Thanks. Goodbye.
The next day, Manushi carried a small red jewelry box containing a diamond ring meant for Vishal. It was the most expensive diamond ring ever made by the jewelry store. It was polished and cut to absolute perfection by their most experienced craftsmen. Manushi's father left no rocks unturned to impress Vishal's parents. As if it was a competition, who could present the better ring? Manushi's father entrusted her with the responsibility of carrying the ring home safely and keeping it ready for the grand occasion. The prospect of liaison of the two business families filled the businessman with joy. As the taxi headed towards Manushi's home, she took out the ring from the box and took a long look at it. It was not just a ring, the rest of her life depended on it. So many emotions and thoughts were insinuated inside her brain. She put the ring back and asked the driver to stop at a corner store. She bought a cigarette and took a long drag. She tried to clear her mind. The cool breeze eased her headache. With the final puff of her smoke, she made up her mind. She threw the cigarette and climbed into the taxi. She ordered the driver to take a detour. The taxi stopped in front of the S9 stand. It was a cloudy and windy evening. The familiar vibrations of the strings filled the air with magic. It started drizzling. She stepped out of the taxi and extended her arms to embrace the rain. She felt free. She leaned on a pole till he finished playing. Then she slowly walked up to him and smiled. Ratan smiled back. He said, "What brings you here?"
This.
Manushi took out the diamond ring and showed it to Ratan. She went down on her knees in front of a small crowd.
You're the most amazing person I've ever met. Will you marry me for being me?
Ratan was stunned and froze for a moment. He was in a state of shock, but he could not deny his heart that he always longed to see her every day and play for her. She had slowly become his inspiration to live. He stood in front of his biggest fan and pulled her up. He took her in his arms and said something which was obscured by the sound of the torrential rain. Tears flowed freely from their eyes, and the melody of tears from heaven surrounded them as they were lost in their embrace. Thank you for listening to us, and please don't forget to like and subscribe if you like the story. Thank you.